you can use Google Hangout in your classroom specifically to do flipped classroom concepts, or maybe just to kind of record yourself as you're teaching and either look back on that to kind of critique yourself, or perhaps connect with students that are doing distance learning or maybe absent, and you're going over some key items that reading alone will not benefit them for. So this is another way to kind of add to transmission-based learning. And so I'm going to kind of go over and do a screen share and show you how I would use it or how I would integrate it in my own teaching style, and hopefully it can benefit you. So what I want to start with is I'm going to do a screen share, which means I'm going to hit a special button that's going to flip and show you exactly what I look at when I'm looking at my computer. So here we go, entire screen. All right, here we go. All right, so whoa, that's a little too intense. So, here we go. That's the fun with going live. You get to see everything when I make a little mistake there. So I'm hitting screen share, and I'm going to choose entire screen. So you see, it's almost like Inception. It just goes on and on and on. But you're looking at what I'm looking at. So that's my Google Plus account, which typically that's kind of what you need to use when you are creating a Google Hangout. And that's because it's a Google-based app, so that's what you use to make it work. Now, if you see over here, these are the different items. So let's say I invited a group of students, like we had a Google Hangout. I open up the chat bar, and if you look right here, that is showing where you could ask a question, or I could pose a question to the class, such as, what do you think of this presentation? And I send it out, and anybody that participates in this can send me feedback. The screen share button is what I'm going to go ahead and hit it again just so you guys see what I see. I hit screen share, and boom, I'm back. But I know I need to kind of go back and talk to you guys about this, so I'm going to go back, and it's this button. It's a little green one. This little green button, and it just goes on and on again, which is weird. And then we have showcase. So showcase, I can show you something specific, and because I hit share the Google screen itself, that's what it's showing you. Q&A. I don't have it enabled right now because I'm not connected to my specific education account. I'm connected to my personal account, so we can't use that. But we have cameraman, and that's just a broadcast settings. As guests join, hide their audio. So I wouldn't want people to talk over me, so I'd leave it no. Broadcast large video, so I see my audience. I could say that. New guests in my large 3+ broadcast are muted as they join. Yes, and you would do that so that you don't have a ton of background noise and distractions as people are learning. So I'm going to go back over here. Control room. And that's just the video. That's your sound. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Woo! And then that's the mute button, which I'm not going to hit because that kind of defeats the purpose. And then the YouTube bit. This is where I go, and I can actually say I'm going to directly connect it to YouTube, which I did that ahead of time. But I'm going to deny that right now because I do not need to go there. But these are your main buttons that you need. And if you want to screen share, you say stop or present to everyone. Ooh, now I'm screen sharing to everybody. But now I want to go back to where I am. So this is where we can go, and what I would do, especially with you're looking at secondary students that may be, let's say, a content area. I'll go with the content area that I focus on, which is English. So let's say I'm going to go over specific grammar terms, like, oh geez, like gerunds. So I could go over gerunds, and let's say if I had a worksheet, I could post it on here and discuss how to work through. Another great way to do this would be if you're a math teacher and you want to go over some math concepts and you want to maybe work through a problem. You put it up on here and you can work it through, and so the kids can go back and review what you've done in your classroom. So this is a great tool to not only share immediately live, but then they have this YouTube video, because right now I'm recording and I'm making a YouTube video. They can go back and review. Like that's especially with our English language learners. They might not catch every single thing you say. However, if you're recording something, especially a bulk new information, you put this on, let's say your Edmodo page that we discussed, or your Google Classroom that we've discussed, and they have this to go back on. It's great for the flipped classroom idea and distance learning. It's also a great remediation or enrichment tool to get to those students that we need to go a little bit deeper with the information. So I don't want to take up a ton of time with this Google Hangout, but this would be something that would really be great to utilize in your classrooms as you're bridging those gaps of knowledge. So I hope you found this beneficial. If you have any questions, you always know you can email me, stop me in class, or just bug me and ask me questions. I love them, love them, love them. So without further ado, thank you so much for your time, and I hope you gained something from it. And I'm going to show you one more thing on this. I'm going to go back to screen share. And you see this little Hangout button? That's what you hit, or I could stop it. What I'm going to do is hit leave call.